I'll start off with the readers' nomination. They wanted us to nominate Destiny's Child.
Oh
One of the
boy.
most, one of the most, if not the most successful female R&B group. Beyonce obviously comes from that group as well, and we already know Beyonce's legacy. I don't know, for this discussion, are we going to include Beyonce into it, or is she a separate thing?
No, I would think that she would be included in this. What I would question is which members would we do? Would we do Latoya? Would we do Latavia? Would Farrah get in it for her being in it for 5 seconds? Did she get a participation trophy?
Yep. Even Farrah gets her name on the Walk of Fame.
Man,
It's
I
a
wish
little
I
star.
joined Boys to Men for like 5 seconds, and then I could just get every accolade they got. Because I just marking myself as ex-Boys to Men member.
Wait, doesn't that mean Mark Nelson is in then?
Yep.
I guess.
It
Well,
counts.
we haven't nominated Boys to Men yet, but back to Destiny's Child.
So we're looking at their discography, not the solo projects.
Yeah, we should not count no Beyonce stuff and nobody else's stuff. Just the group
Okay.
stuff. So we're counting those 4 albums? 4 albums.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, Tom, if you want to include Michelle Williams' solo projects, you can.
If you want
Okay, it
to
doesn't really
lessen
change
their
much.
chances of getting in, then okay. But
Tom?
Ed, you go first. Ed, go first.
okay, I'll go first. I think that Beyonce has the overwhelming Beyonce hype that has tired out the entire universe will make a lot of people frown at the very mention of Destiny's Child being nominated, but I think they are very rightfully so nominated. And even though they get a lot of props for their second album, because that was their big breakout album, they had some great albums, notwithstanding that. That first album was a very, very, very good R&B album that's become very underrated over the past few years. Their final album is probably their best album, if you ask me. And of course, The Writings on the Wall, big, did a trillion numbers, crossed them over the top, blah, blah, blah. The only whack album was Survivor, because that was not good. But I
That was
think when
bad.
it comes down to influence, it was kind of a no-brainer. When it comes down to sales, it's a no-brainer. And when it comes to content, it's a no-brainer. So even though we're sick of Beyonce, I think as a group, as a whole, I think they should be inducted. So they get my votes.
I want to hear what you have to say, Kyle.
Well, I think the one point that people kind of forget about is that Destiny's Child came out, I think, after 702 did, right?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Yep. And that was around the same time Black came out, the R&B group. A bunch of R&B groups came out at the same time, and you could just see how Destiny's Child just leapfrogged over all of them and surpassed them in pretty much every way. So, I mean, just the impact alone there. And I'm with you, Ed. They've had some solid or even good albums. Survivor is a terrible album. We don't need to talk about that one, but their last album was really good, and they had a couple of pretty good remixes too. I mean, Say My Name is a classic, but we can't forget about the Timbaland remix of that song. It's a whole different song, and it's just as good. So I think they're in too.
For me, it's a definite no. Easily no. You want
Please
to know why?
explain. Please explain.
Definite.
First of all, we couldn't even get Music Soul Child in, who has a way bigger history of work than this group here. No,
This
seriously.
group-
They got
this
4
group-
albums. You claim one was terrible. The first one I wouldn't even say is a classic. The second one, I guess you could claim is a classic, but I don't know. I don't even know if they have one classic album. Yeah, they have some big hits. Yeah, I agree. They have some great songs. But, come on. This isn't a body of work I consider a definite Hall of Fame career. This is like an unfinished body of work, if you ask me.
Did you literally just say that Music Soul Child's discography is better than Destiny's Child? And I'm not even a Destiny's Child stan like that. Let me go. I need something stronger to jerk on than this water. Woo!
If you asked most R&B fans, I bet they would agree with me.
I think some would, but some people also said Jeremiah sings like Michael Jackson. So who you
But
asking?
here's the thing, though. If you look at Destiny's Child, the latter part of their career, a lot of it was just they were experimenting more with a poppier sound. And that's why they got a lot of notoriety. You know, it's like they kind of went away from the original R&B format they began with.
Well,
So,
that is true for the third album, and I think that there are lots of things wrong with that third album, but the first one was definite R&B. The second was a mix because it was more R&B and hip hop and a little bit of pop. The third one was pop and it was awful. The fourth one went back to the roots, and I think that even though the third one gave them notoriety, that was far from their best work. And then we're looking at work. Their best songs were pretty much R&B songs.
how many classic albums?
You could make a case for the second one being a classic. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. But that's the only one that
So
I would consider.
you're telling me someone get in the Hall of Fame with 0 classic albums? Come on. We got to do better than this in the Hall of Fame.
Well, it's a Hall of Fame. It's not a classic fame. Like, you can get in there without a classic album. But again, there are very, very, very few albums that I would classify as classic. If we're doing that, the Hall of Fame will have like 4 people in it.
All right, fine. So let me put this differently. Their albums. Give me a quick on-the-spot ranking of each one.
Like a score?
Yeah.
Okay. First one, probably a 4. Second one, maybe 4.5. Third one, a 3, if that. Fourth one, probably 4.5. I've ranked the last one. I'm pretty sure I gave it out a 4.5.
Oh, man. I
Last-
can tell you're a big fan of Destiny's Child.
Last one was good though, but
Oh, the last one was awesome.
I think the one point you have, and Tom might be sort of correct on this. It's sort of like unfinished business. Their
Yes.
run was huge, but it wasn't that long. But I will also make the argument to say there's some groups that break up because their run's coming to an end. I don't think they would have slowed down at all. Personally,
I don't count that as a positive for them, though. I don't give them credit for that. I gotta look at what the body of work they've given us, and to me, it's just not enough. It's not a complete enough resume for me to put them solidly in. Definitely not.
No, they've got 4 albums. What else do you want? Like, I don't want 25
And
albums.
none of them are a classic. I want 2 classics.
To
put someone
Please name
comfortably
the
in.
Classic Music Soul Child 2 albums, because we still waiting on that convo from 2 weeks ago.
We know you're a Music Soul Child hater and a Destiny's Child fan. That's another discussion.
Oh
for
my
another day.
gosh, such lies on this podcast.
Even Lachelle Wallace agreed with me about Music Soul Child.
Michelle is too busy buying paper towels to be paying attention to these things.
But the point I'm making is, I just don't see this as a body of work. Like, Hall of Fame to me should be the best of the best. SWV is the best of the best. Destiny's Child is a cut behind them, in my opinion.
Okay,
No,
wait, hold
I-
on. Would you guys say that SWV has a better argument for being in the Hall of Fame than Destiny's Child? I'm on the fence on that one. I think.
Yeah,
Well,
but
first of all,
but that's the thing, though. I shot myself in the foot by bringing up SWV because they only had 3 albums before they broke up until they re got together and all that. But
and
Yeah,
I think
I
Destiny's
felt like
Child
what
had
they
a
left
bigger
us.
impact. Bigger
I was
impact.
ready
on
to give you
Destiny's
the
Child.
work. for that
Impact
one.
to me, but Impact to me, it was all hype though. It's like Beyonce was a star and it's all star power, but it's a totally different thing to me. I'm talking about the music. I'm talking about just the music.
But then you're still talking about, you have to talk about influences and SWV, and they're almost different eras. Like, you can't lump them together. SWV was early 90s, mid 90s. Destiny's Child, as Kyle talked about earlier, kind of leapfrogged the late 90s, early 2000s. So it's almost 2 different eras. And the era, the playing fields were a little different. Not drastically different, but they were a little different. I think they're on the same plane when it comes to influence.
Time for me to go back and listen to Soldier featuring T.I. and Lil Wayne. Classic.
Hey man, they had some good songs on that album. But
They
anyway,
And where's Ed? Did he drop off?
I guess he
No,
dropped off.
I'm just here listening to you. I'm listening to your falsehoods and lies. I'm just soaking them all in, player.
Oh boy.
Jeez. We got a bunch of trash in this Hall of Fame.
No, we didn't put music in it.
Oh boy.
We know you don't like Music Soul Child. That's just a given fact. You personally will not listen to a Music Soul Child album. Admit
I
it.
love the first album. First album is great. I love like a couple of the albums. Hall of Fame career, nope.
I'm trying to be unbiased, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I actually like... Kyle forced me to like Destiny's Child last album. So I actually do like it.
How did he force you to like it?
He's like, hey, man, these are some good songs. You gotta listen to them. I hadn't listened to them in like 8 years. He's like, Ninth Wonder produced these. And they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, that album's pretty. I don't think anyone would say that's a bad album.
Unbiased, taking away the star power, taking away sales, just taking the music for what it is. I can't put them in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
I'm sure many of our readers will agree with you, but I still think that a lot of the Destiny's Child anger comes from Beyonce overdose. And I can't blame
Shout
him
out
for that, because I'm sure tired of her. But
shout out to Lachelle Wallace. I already see her comment agreeing with me. It's not even written yet, but I know it's coming.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, but we'll put Destiny's Child into the Hall of Fame. We might have to put them in the revisited section with Ashanti. Who else is there? Music Soul Child.
D'Angelo's getting revisited. He's getting booted.
John B is another one. We're just gonna have to redo this Hall of Fame
John
thing.
B.
I might need to put Tyrese back into that after the success of the Fast and Furious movie that just came out, which, by the way, wasn't very good.
Oh
but
boy!
What are you gonna do?
Anyway,
Anyway,
we're tearing the whole Hall of Fame down.
we're restarting it.